Hey everyone, Jeremy here. It is Tuesday night and we're going to create some art. It's going to be awesome. It is Tuesday night and I was thinking, so for tonight, I wanted to do another one of my pastel watercolor series, but I was thinking of, what animal haven't I done? I would always fall back on doing a dog, just because there's so many different dog breeds that I have to get to, but I wanted to kind of change it up a little bit for this one. And I was looking through the pictures that I had done, and one of the obvious ones that I usually try to tackle whenever I do a new style is like a deer with big antlers and all that stuff. And I hadn't gotten to it yet, so I thought I'll try that tonight. We'll probably be getting back into some dogs here pretty soon, just because there is a dog show happening in the UK in March, and I'm going to try to draw some of the contestants of that one. So I think that's going to be a lot of fun. My lazy dog back here. This she's still alive. Okay. All right. So if that's cool with you guys, I'm just going to jump right in and get started. So you guys know the drill so far, like by now with these things, is I come in here, I start with some watercolor, and then I apply some clear gesso over it so that I can draw in pastel over that. So I got this really nice uh, background going here. The lighting's kind of off in here, but it's got kind of like some natural colors in it. It's got some greens, it's got some blues, and it's got some kind of orangish brown. So I'm pretty happy with that. I think this is a good start. I was looking at this earlier and I'm like, it kind of looks like the deer kind of goes off this direction, but I'm actually having him where his head's turned. So I think this is going to be kind of cool. But anyway, just a quick shout out. We got Rome Dog in here. We've got Kid, and yeah, that's enough for a party. So let's get started. Um, I don't actually know how long this is going to take, just because the actual area to draw is like right here. So we'll see. Like this might be a short one. I said that in the past though, and like they aren't always short, so we'll see. I am going to start with the eyes on this one, just so that I can knock them out of the way, um, and go from there. But hopefully you guys are doing well. Here in good old central Kentucky, we got hit with some snow, and I think we're supposed to get some more tonight, so we'll see how that goes. Um, it's not too bad. It's just like, it's cold, but it's not really enough to like stick or anything like that. It's pretty much gone as soon as it comes in. There is supposed to be some. Did did Geppetto's nephew run away? No, he's still here. Sorry. Nah, he's you know how kids are. They go and do their own thing every now and then. Get upset up. There you go. He's still here. Did we come up with a name for him besides Mini Me, or I don't remember. I kind of lose track of some of the things that we discuss in these chats. But yeah, and you know, weather is kind of strange around here, but it was a pretty nice weekend. Again, the weather was pretty bad, so kind of stayed in most of the weekend. But I did go out and watch. I went out and watched Captain America. That was okay. Like I'm kind of curious if any of you guys have seen it and what you think. I think it was kind of like, as the kids say, mid. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't really all that great either. It's one of the things that like I felt like I could watch if I had like nothing better to do, and I just wanted some background um, stuff. I'm not gonna throw out any spoilers, but it was uh it was okay. It wasn't great. Like there's other Marvel movies coming out this year that I'm looking more forward to. So I'm just kind of curious if any of you guys have seen it and what you guys think. But yeah, it's all right. Rum Dog, it's not bad. Carletto. It doesn't have to be a boy. It could be a girl. Carletto might work. Carlet Carletta. There we go. I had to think about that for a minute. Get some eyes in there. I think that So this is so small. I don't know how much highlight I can get over it, but I'm gonna try. It's a little early. I'll come back and try the highlight later. I don't want to get sidetracked. But the other thing is I went out to visit my brother. He was his wife is from Eastern Kentucky, so they were visiting for like a birthday. So I went out there to visit with them and have like dinner with them and stuff. And I hadn't realized how flooded it was. There's a natural like disaster declaration here in Kentucky, and a lot of those counties out there in the Eastern Kentucky side it is completely flooded. Like all the creeks are overflowing, um, all the lakes. It's just nuts out there. It's because we've had so much rain, like really bad rain, and also like just so much snow lately and stuff. And you know, we where I'm at isn't that hilly. I'm kind of like in the flatland area, just outside of the Appalachian Mountains. So, but if you go east of here, it's all Appalachian Mountains, and the stiletto, stiletto for the name. That would be great. Um, but yeah, so like all those mountain creeks and stuff like that, they pick up the water and they just can't distribute it quick enough. That's the problem. So there are some people out there. I mean, I actually saw it like houses where the first floor are just like covered. It's it's pretty bad out there. So I feel bad for them. If you are in Eastern Kentucky, I don't think any of my viewers are, but if you are in Eastern Kentucky, let me know how you're doing. I think most of my viewers are outside of Kentucky or in Central Kentucky, like I am, but I don't really know. First off, they don't have that great of internet out there in Eastern Kentucky. That's something they've been working on. So like high speed internet is kind of like a hit or miss out there. Even here, it's like you know, like sometimes my internet works, sometimes it doesn't. We don't have the best infrastructure here in Kentucky. I think they're supposed to be working on that kind of stuff, but they just haven't. She might need a skirt. Hey, Coopart! Shout out to Coopart. Welcome to the channel. We're drawing a deer in this style just to see how it goes. I'm starting to wonder if this was a good idea. I probably should have gone with bigger paper, I think. Um, just because I don't know how I'm going to get like any sort of detail. I don't know how much detail it actually needs, but um, it is such a small area here to work with. Um, I do have larger paper, and I could have gone with that. I probably should have in hindsight. But I've been trying to keep it all the same size and style and stuff. Like the idea is like one of these days, I'm gonna go and display this stuff, and I kind of want to shoot for consistency in style, consistency in mediums. Like my cat picture I did the other day that's just strictly pastel would not fit in this series. This series has to be both watercolor and pastel, or else I'm gonna kick you to the curb. But yeah, I mean, I've got some other pictures that I think are really good, but they're just pastel. So like, I'm not gonna include them in this series. Seems like a pretty low key kind of week so far. I don't know about any of you guys, but it's been super quiet. Oh, those are you guys who follow the treasure hunting stuff. I know you do, kid, and there's probably some other viewers that'll happen by. There is like supposed to be some news on whether or not the Forrest Fenn treasure hunt is going to have their Netflix documentary. I don't know if you heard about that, but apparently there's supposed to be an announcement about that next week. It's not clear what the announcement is, whether it would include like a trailer for that documentary, um, or if it's just like the announcement of like when it's going to be released. I think like what most people are going off of is that there's supposed to be a documentary for that coming out in March, as early as March, maybe April. So that's like right on the horizon, and it's kind of cool because like some of my friends are in there, people I know. They're going to be like in that Netflix series, so hopefully they're portrayed okay. Like some of the community, they get kind of nuts. We joke about how hopefully it's not like Tiger, they don't Tiger King them, because like there are some crazy people in that treasure hunt. So I don't know how bad it's going to be. It could be perfectly fine and everybody looks completely reasonable, and then also it could be complete like nuts where everybody's treated like they're in Tiger King or something. But that is supposed to come out soon, so that's kind of cool. Um, I don't know what to expect really. Like I've only heard rumors and stuff like that. I haven't heard any kind of like there's like everybody's under like an NDA, so it's like nobody can talk about what is in it. So that's why I'm a little bit nervous about like how my friends are going to be portrayed, whether they're going to be portrayed as like crazy lunatics or reasonable people. I don't know. I watch a lot of documentaries on Netflix myself, and they kind of run the whole gamut. For the Forest and Treasure Hunt did get pretty nuts. There were some crazy people out there. Gold fever kind of got to some people, and then just some people are just kind of crazy. I know there's no way to sugarcoat that. They're just kind of crazy, and I don't really know. Like I said, it could be a Tiger King type documentary. I think if I had my way, like if I was a documentary, yeah, he's got the rack goes all the way up here. Sorry if I didn't make that clear. That's why its face is so small. The horns come all the way up. So like I think he's gonna look cool if I can pull it off. I'm not really sure if I'm gonna be able to pull it off. And with in the same sort of style that I've been doing, where there's some realistic look to his face. That's what I'm shooting for, but we'll see how it goes. But yeah, so like, if I had my way, like if I was making the documentary telling the story of like the Forest and Treasure Hunt, there's a documentary on Netflix already that kind of goes over the disappearance of the Malaysian flight, MH370, I think it's called. Um, and there's like a lot of controversy to that story, right? So like they don't know. Well, they have an idea of what happened to the plane now, but when it first disappeared, it was a huge mystery. Like they had no idea what was going on there. Um, and there was like a lot of theories and a lot of conjecture. And even to this day, there's still some, like backlash against the official story. Like, they have an official idea of like what happened to that flight. It basically crashed in the South Pacific. But there's still some lingering questions about like what happened there and stuff. So that was a good documentary, the MH370 documentary. It kind of went over all the different prevailing theories in a entertaining way, or not entertaining, but captivating way. Like I was drawn into that documentary. It was pretty good. Uh, so I think that would be a good template for the Forrest Fenn one, because there is like a lot of controversy to how that Forrest Fenn treasure hunt ended. Like some people don't even believe how the guy who found it. They think that maybe he was like you know given the spot, or like he's part of a conspiracy to like cover up where it was really found. I don't know, like a bunch of weird theories. Um, I think like I don't know how they're going to kind of cover that kind of stuff in the documentary, because some of it is pretty crazy. It's out there, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. But anyway, that's supposed to be coming soon. Some of my friends are in it, so I think that'll be kind of cool to see. Like if it comes out and it's good, I will recommend it on this show. If it's like you know a hatchet job where they just treat all my friends like they're crazy people and stuff, I probably won't talk about it again. But we'll see. Uh, Hopes are not too high about the documentary. I hope it's good though. I think it'll be fun just to watch, because I love the Rocky Mountains. The Rocky Mountains are awesome. Like if I had my way, like Rocky Mountains are expensive. If I could afford to live in the Rocky Mountains, and there was enough work out there for me, I would love to live in the Rocky Mountains, just to go hiking and like draw things that I see out there and stuff like that. So I would watch any documentary, whether it's this one or any, about the Rocky Mountains, just anyway, because like I love the Rocky Mountains. So from that aspect, I am looking forward to it because it's going to have great visuals, I'm sure. You know, I don't know if it's going to tell the story of the treasure hunt very well. We'll have to wait and see on that one. But I'll watch it just for the beautiful views. Like I would watch a documentary on Yellow. Like I have watched a bunch of documentaries on Yellowstone just to watch documentaries. You know, just to see a bunch of animals running around doing animal stuff. So, stiletto needs some varnish for tan lines. Yeah, a little pasty white. Well, you know, it's not an off. I want to be clear. It's not an offspring of Geppetto. It is a clone. So whether it's a boy or a girl or you know non-binary, whatever, it is a clone. So um, there is that. So like you know, looks a little pasty white because it just came out of the oven. Like probably need to put it back in the oven, let it cook a little bit longer. But yeah, all right. I'm gonna get like trying to make sure I get detail in here. Get some ears going out here. The reference picture I'm looking at is an adorable deer. I would love to do like a baby deer, maybe in this style, but I think the head would have to be bigger. The reason why his head's so small here, and it kind of looks goat-like to me, but the reason the deer's head's so small is because it's such a big rack up here that needs to be covered. I don't know what the proper term is for the antlers, but I think people call it a rack. Geppetto was the dancer the whole time. He just wanted to dance. Yeah. I mean, it's just fun that Geppetto's been here since the beginning. I have another full size wooden puppet just like Geppetto that I thought like, well, if Geppetto ever gets paint on him or gets messed up or whatever, I can swap him out. But he's been here since the beginning, and he does have some paint splotches on him. Um, so I think that's kind of like part of the charm. I don't really want to like swap him out. I will if like he ever gets really messed up or whatever, but I don't want to. You know, he's kind of like family. He's a he's a friend. I know he doesn't talk much, but it's kind of his charm. I do enough talking for the both of us. It's kind of weird. Like, I don't do a lot of talking in real life. I do talk a lot on here, and sometimes I'll blurt out like something to my dogs. I will talk to my dogs. Sometimes when I go for a walk or something, I will talk to myself. Um, like if I'm talking through a problem or something like that, I'll talk to myself. Um, but otherwise, I don't spend a lot of time talking. You know, I don't go places where there's a lot of people to talk to or any of that stuff. It's kind of strange to me how talkative I am during these YouTube shows. I guess I just like talking to you guys. That's all. Yeah, you guys talk plenty. You guys always have something to say. I love it because no matter what, there's always somebody in the chat. Like it doesn't look like there's a lot of people watching tonight. You know, that's how it goes sometimes. But there's always somebody in the chat, and you guys are like so happy to just kind of talk. Yeah, family. There you go, Rum Dog. Like you've been around like since the beginning yourself. I don't know if you were there for the first one I did, probably not, but you've been around long enough to where I mean, you're basically like family, where it's like we all know each other. I like that kind of aspect of this community. Um, I'm not going to buy you a Christmas gift or something. Like, I might send you a Christmas card. Actually, I don't know if I have your address. But yeah, yeah, like one of I don't know. A lot of times I don't even buy my own brother Christmas gift. I think I owe him something. His his birthday's in 2 days. Yeah, so my Josh, if you're watching this, happy birthday. His birthday's in 2 days. I just realized. I've got a younger brother and I've got an older brother. Um, and it's kind of it's kind of weird to be in the middle because like I don't know. I'm joking when I say my older brother abused me, but yeah, he abused me. he used to he used to like um, you know, like not really fight, more like wrestle or something like that. Um, he whenever we'd get in trouble and stuff, he'd always blame me and stuff. So like all of that stuff that my older brother did, I kind of passed down to my younger brother. So I'm just as guilty of it. You know, me and my friends kind of duct tape my younger brother one time. We kind of like duct tape him to I think a soccer goalpost. So I felt kind of bad for that. So yeah, Josh, if you're watching this, sorry about that. Happy birthday. Um, but that's family. You know, that's how family goes. Hey, Kinsley, how's it going? Tell Ernest I'm coming over for the weekend. That's funny. Yeah, we're drawing a deer tonight. I think it's going to turn out all right. It's kind of slow going here, but that's okay. I don't have like a lot of area to cover, so like I feel like if I spend a little time on the details, that's not going to be too bad on this one. And mostly it's like not so bad on the details. It's more like trying to figure out what colors to use and where to use them and stuff like that. Sorry you were a little late. You can show up whenever you can. You don't have to apologize. I'm happy you guys show up at all. I appreciate it. Let's see. Move this around a bit. I'll get started on this antler here just to get some color in just so I see where things are. I'm not gonna spend too much time on the full antler yet. I want to see where the face starts. Yeah, so hopefully you guys have been good. Yeah, the Captain America thing, I am a little bit disappointed. Like I said, I'm not going to throw out any spoilers or anything like that, but it's one of those things where I felt like, I felt like I could have watched this on Disney Plus and I probably would have enjoyed it more. I like going to the theater. That's actually something I enjoy doing. Um, so it's not that I felt like my time was wasted, really. It's just, you know, like there's certain expectations for a Marvel movie where the stakes are high, and even like a smaller story where like the first Ant-Man, the stakes weren't that high, but like there's always got to be stakes, and I don't feel like there was, even though like they pretended like there were stakes in this movie, I don't feel like there was a lot of stakes. Like there wasn't not like stakes as in eating steaks. But I felt like Captain America this time really like the events pretended to be important, but I don't feel like they were. So it's one of those things where it's like the story itself didn't really feel like it was well done. Like I feel like I could have wrote a better story. I feel like ChatGPT probably could have wrote a better story, but I don't know. Sometimes, and this isn't just Marvel. This is like all of them. I feel like somebody's writing these things with AI. They're checking off boxes, but they're not really thinking it through. They're not really like making sure that all the dots connect and that there's no plot holes and so on. Hey, Funny VR, how's it going? Found my drawing stuff finally, so I will try to draw Rome soon. Nice, cool. I like it when you guys draw stuff. That's the other thing about this. Like, like we all hang out together. It's kind of cool. Like I do see you guys as like close friends, even though we haven't met or whatever. But also what I think is kind of cool is like kind of a bit of an art community. Like I know not all of you guys draw pictures and stuff, but you all at least appreciate art. So I think that's cool. I appreciate that, that you guys appreciate art, whether it's mine or just art in general. I am kind of curious, like if you guys would be interested in me talking about art that I haven't done. Like there are some paintings out there and you know, art by other artists and stuff like that that I think is kind of cool. I would love to like maybe like do a short video here and there talking about why I like that kind of art and so on, just kind of like going over, I don't know, pictures that I think are cool. If you guys wouldn't hate that, like I don't know if you guys would love it, but if you didn't, if you wouldn't hate that, let me know, and I might actually make some of those videos. I would love to just sit around and chat, you know, instead of doing. Oh yeah, I got a new subscriber. Thanks, Funny VR. I appreciate it. Um, yeah, that's really cool. I think. Thank you. Yeah, I'm always surprised when somebody subscribes to this, but no, I'll take it. It's cool. Um, but yeah, I think it'd be kind of cool to like go over some of my favorite art, and just kind of talk about it, talk about why I like it or whatever. It might not be that exciting. Um, it's just some, just to you know, give me an excuse to put out a video, chat with you guys, and so on. Like I feel like it doesn't always have to be me drawing. Like we can talk about other things. I do want to keep it like art related. Like I don't want to chat about I don't know politics or world events. Apparently, there's an asteroid coming in a few years to wipe us all out anyway. Did you guys hear about that one? That's no good. So we'll have to keep our eye on that one. Apparently, I mean, they keep upping the probability. So they said that there was like a 1% chance of, you know, the asteroid actually hitting us. And by hitting us, I mean somewhere in the world. You know, it could land in the middle of the ocean and it probably wouldn't affect anything. Um, but you know, like there's some smart people tracking that kind of stuff. Like they probably figure out where it would land before it ever does. But anyway, they started off with like a 1% probability that the can I call you Jeremy, or is that what everyone calls you? You can call me whatever you want. But no, yeah, my name is Jeremy. You can call me Jeremy. Yeah, call me whatever you want. I don't mind. Just don't call me late to dinner. That's a dumb joke. But no, that asteroid they keep up in the numbers on it. It's like it started off at like 1%. I think it's up to 3% now. So at one point they said there was a 1 in 37 odds of it hitting us. And you know, I don't gamble a lot, but I have been to Vegas and I do know the odds of a roulette table, and that's basically the odds of like hitting a number. So like if you put all your chips on say 21 or something, you have a 1 in 37 chance of hitting on that in roulette. And that's what they're giving this asteroid to hit us. So it's like that's not good. That's not good at all. Um, now, don't get me wrong. It's hard to win at roulette, but people do. You know, sometimes people do pick a number and it just happens to land on that. So that's not reassuring. Jeremy, a couple years ago, my favorite dog Maggie died. Oh, I'm so sorry. And she suffocated, and this is cheering me up. Hey, you know, I do draw people's pets. So, like, if you have a picture of Maggie and you want me to draw Maggie sometime, just let me know. That's kind of what I do. Most, like, I do wildlife pictures and stuff like that. I try to, like, break it up a little bit so I'm not doing the same thing every time. But largely what I do is I do draw dogs. Dogs are my favorite thing to draw, I think. Or it's maybe not my favorite, but it is what I draw a lot. So if you ever need, you know, some closure by having a portrait done, you let me know because I enjoy doing that. I talk sometimes about how that's actually my goal for this channel is like one day, like, you know, find like I'm very far from it now. I only have like a few. Um, 100 subscribers. Like I just reached over 1,000, but I only have so many watch hours, and you need to have a certain amount of watch hours in order to be part of their program. But that's my that's my fantasy. Is like one day YouTube will pay me to just hang out here and draw dogs for people. That'd be kind of cool. Kind of an altruistic goal that I can aspire to. We'll see how it actually goes. Um, in the meantime, I'm just like learning how to draw and practicing and stuff like that. I think my pictures look okay. I'm pretty happy with recent stuff. She's a black dog and make her under a chair because that's what she always did. Oh, and her name's Maggie. That's cute. Yeah, so my email address is on the about page. So like, you know, people send me pictures of their dogs and stuff, and I draw them when I get a chance. It may be a while before I can get to it, um, but I try to. I really do, and you know, it is something I enjoy doing. But yeah, and you know, like if you're young, have your parents send me that picture. By the way, like I would appreciate that if they sent that to me instead. Um, but yeah, I'll draw you, doggy. Maggie sounds cute. Such a small area. It's so hard to get details in. I'm managing here, but it is a bit of a struggle. Just to let you guys know. Um, I think I think if I get the ear in there, I'll be pretty happy with it. Where I can feel like I can move on to different areas. Like I haven't even gotten to the like I thought I was just gonna breeze through this because it's so small, but as it turns out, that is not the case. Just because like I'm working a bit on trying to figure out where everything goes here. You have the same gaming chair? Oh yeah, yeah, cool. Yeah, I think this one's a pretty popular one. I got it for Christmas a few years back. So I don't even know what they cost, but it's it's comfortable. You know, like I enjoy it. A lot of these gamer chairs they look alike anyway, so it's like you basically have to know the brand, which I don't. You know, it's just what I ended up with. But I like it. It's kind of cool that you have the same one. Do you like yours? I'm pretty sure that pretty sure that their yours is as comfortable as well. I like it comes with like a little pillow in the back and stuff, which I think is cool. That's a tiny place to work with. Yeah, it is. It is. But you know what? I did that little deer for the bourbon bottle that one time, and that one was pretty small too. So I think I'll figure this out. It's just how much detail do you add? How much do you not? You know, how much do you leave to the imagination? That sort of stuff. It's a little bit challenging when you're dealing with such a small space. Geppetto is extra chill. He is just chilled out. He's he's waiting for the winter to be over. He's tired of being indoors. He wants to head to the beach or something. I don't know what little wooden puppets think of. Yeah, beach. That probably sounds right. He probably wants to go to the beach so that he can kind of like just drift in the water, like driftwood or something. I don't know. I don't know what wooden puppets think about. That's pretty funny though. Moose. I haven't drawn a moose yet. Why? You know, that's kind of weird. I need to draw a moose. So the problem, the problem is I get started on a art style that I like, or I start experimenting with a different way of doing art. Before it was copy art. There's been a couple of other things that I've toyed with over the years or over the months, I guess. But I start toying with something new, and then I'm like, oh, I like this style. I got to go back and do all the same pictures in this style now. So that's the problem. That's why I haven't really branched out. I thought that I would probably do. I got to do another coffee painting. It's been a while, but I thought I would get around to doing like jungle animals and coffee painting. Like lions and well, lions are more like the plains animals, but you get the idea. Like tigers and monkeys and stuff like that. I haven't really done any of those. It's just been like basically what you might find in the American woods, and that's been my limited set of animals that I've done, and that's kind of a shame. I really should branch out and do other animals, particularly like safari animals like giraffes and lions and so forth. I haven't done a camel yet, which is kind of weird because like I love camels. Camels are the best. You gotta try colored pencils on coffee. It works. I tested it. Yeah, that actually does sound kind of cool. I think that would look neat too because you have the basically sepia tones of coffee, and then you can add some color over that. I think that would be really cool. Oops, gotta watch out there. All right. Anyway, some little white highlights in here. So I've got this weird rig. So I've got a phone camera up there. I've got a webcam here on my monitor, and then I've got this thing that I built. I got to show it off sometime. It's kind of neat. It's basically just like a wooden kind of like support or something for my camera. I really got to up my game though. Like I need better equipment. I really need to invest in that. But we'll see. We'll get to it at some point. All right. So I'm liking the face. The face is looking cool. I need to finish up his mouth area here. And then I can move into like doing the antlers and then kind of filling out this neck area. I don't want to get too crazy with the neck area just because I really like um, what I got going on here. Um, I like this color splotching. That's looking pretty cool. So I'm going to try to preserve that. One of the challenges of doing this style is or really any kind of like abstract realism style is the balancing act between you know what's real and what is not real, um what is real and what's kind of like abstract, realistic and abstract. There you go. I'll get one of these days I'll learn to talk. I need to I need to stop taking art lessons, and I need to go off and start taking just basic communication, public speaking, whatever, one of these days. But yeah, so like it's a balancing act where you have to oh, Jocelyn is your niece. Nice. Jocelyn says, "Hi everyone." Hello, Jocelyn. Hopefully you're doing well this February evening. But yeah, so like you have to have a balance between the realistic rendered parts and the parts that you want to kind of leave a little bit rough, a little bit grungy, I guess. I think grungy is a good word for it. Distressed. Yeah, that's actually a really good term because this looks like distressed metal or something. Or like, if you did have like a painting on wood, it would be distressed paint or something like that. So I like that term. I'm gonna reach across the paper here real quick. Sorry about that. I hate doing that kind of thing, but I need this pencil here. My kitty wants to come in, hang out with you guys. Who says hi? I do want to draw a moose. Back to my point is, I end up drawing the same type of animals, which I really need to get out of my zone on that. And draw other animals. Uh, some of the dog breeds that I've been working on, I really want to draw different breeds than what I'm used to. So like, I feel like I've gotten to the point where I have been trying on that a little bit, and I feel like same deal with the animals. I need to work on animals that are not outside my comfort zone. They're all outside my comfort zone. I'm not a master yet at any of this stuff. But stuff that I just haven't drawn yet. Trying to get a highlight on that little nostril there. A giraffe, yes, absolutely. I need to do a giraffe. And this summer or spring, I think I'm going to try to go to the zoo and draw these things in person. I think I'm going to try to draw a giraffe at the zoo. Like that's something I've had on my bucket list, not my bucket list, but my art list, I guess. Um, my artistic bucket list. There you go. My palette. There you go. It's been on my palette of goals for a while. To actually go to the zoo and draw animals, or at least take some pictures and then come back home and draw animals and stuff. But actually go around the zoo and kind of pick out like some some models, I guess. But the Cincinnati Zoo, which is the one I would go to probably, is has a really good giraffe exhibit. So I think that's what I would like to do. Just head up there and like just kind of Jeremy's ready to die. He finally draws the giraffe. That is the last thing I'm going to do before I die. So that's the reason I haven't drawn a giraffe yet, is because an old wise lady once told me that the day I draw a giraffe is the day I'm gonna go. So that's why I haven't done it. So that's gonna be my last thing I ever draw. No, I'm just joking about that. Like knock on wood, literally. I'm not superstitious, but I am a little stitious. But yeah, I think it would be kind of fun to draw some zoo animals and stuff. They have some cool zoo, animals at the Cincinnati Zoo. They have a rather famous hippopotamus named Fiona, and I think they have a baby hippopotamus. Maybe that was a few years back. I don't know. Maybe that is Fiona. I don't remember. I think we got a pretty good face going here. This is looking good. All right, so I'm gonna move on up to doing some of the antlers just so that I can get that in. I don't want to like lose track and not get these things done. So up here, I think I'm going to like I don't want to like overdo. I want it to still look kind of like abstract, but I do want to get some textures up in here and some details. So I think I'm going to use some odd colors too. So like this, it probably isn't showing up very well, but this is purple. And again, I've talked before about one of the great things about do a colorful iguana on black paper next. That would be awesome. I love iguanas. I don't know if I told the story or not, but might as well. I used to live in Guantanamo, Cuba, when my dad was stationed there, and they have iguanas running all over the place there. And one year, I actually dressed up as an iguana for Halloween. My mom made me an iguana suit, and the thing is, it's like we were just talking about this the other day too. It's funny. The You couldn't really tell if it was an iguana or like a dinosaur because there's no sense of scale. Um, so it's kind of funny. It's so weird. We were just talking about that too. Yeah, I would love to draw an iguana. That would be awesome. Yeah, a colorful iguana on black paper. That would be cool. All right. Well, I love doing requests and stuff. So just somebody gently remind me that I have agreed to do that, and I will get to that for sure. Because like there are some things that I want to draw, but I'm not that picky on what I actually draw. So like you guys have a lot of influence over what I actually end up drawing. Because like I want you guys to be entertained, at least to some degree, or at least like I know that you guys have options on what you can be doing with your Tuesday night and Thursday nights and stuff like that. Um, so I appreciate that you guys watch and everything. So like I want to draw whatever you guys want me to draw. To a degree. Like there are some things that I actually want to draw at times, and I kind of like will probably overrule you guys if you guys went off the rails. Um, and then other things, it's like some things that I may not draw now, but it may be something I build up to. Like I'm not that good at some things, so like you guys might ask me to like draw. Um, I'll tell you what I struggle with. Like just chatting here. One of the things I struggle with is I struggle with like a full scene. There's a reason I like this kind of abstract style here, where I'm drawing something that's kind of isolated from the background, isolated from the environment, and it's just kind of like floating there as a portrait, right? I like that style, but also I'm not very good at backgrounds. I'm not good yet at doing landscapes. I've tried to do a few landscapes, but I haven't really found that kind of like area that I can like really work in. Sometimes it comes out okay, but it's not really something that I'm proud of. Um, so like you guys might request me to do like a landscape, and I'll give it a shot, but I'm not very enthusiastic about it, I guess, just because like I struggle with it. It's tough for me. Um, I do kind of want to do some more pastel landscapes, just because I know other people are really good at it, and it's like, and when I see other people good at it, I'm like, I want to be good at it. I want to do what they're doing, and it's just like I'm just not there yet, you know. But it's one of those things that, oh, notice how I switched from purple to green for no reason whatsoever. It's just kind of cool. Um, but a lot of this background watercolor is green, so I kind of try to get some of those colors into the foreground as well. But I want to keep this kind of soft, but then I do want some lines over it to represent, like, you know, there's some texture to these antlers. But anyway, yeah, so like I struggle with doing landscapes, so like feel free to request them and get challenge me and stuff like that. But that's one of those things that I'm a little gun shy on so far. I'll one day I will be doing nothing but landscapes, and I'll be like, yes, I am awesome. But that is not today. Hey Lorraine, how's it going? Just went to the zoo last Sunday, sorry, and saw giraffes. Nice. Yeah, here in these winter months, I think the zoo is open. Like the zoo here has a really cool like Christmas thing. So like they have the Festival of Lights, which is like a big outdoor Christmas display of lights, and it's not like the light displays like they have at a lot of these light displays nowadays. It's really like a bunch of twinkling lights, like the old classic kind of like Festival of Light. But anyway, I really like it. But I don't think anybody ever goes in February around here. It's much too cold. But as soon as it warms up, spring is on my palette. I'm gonna start calling my goals, my art goals, my palette uh, of goals, because like bucket list sounds weird. I don't want to call it a bucket list, um, but it's kind of like a bucket list. So we're gonna call it our palette of goals, and we're gonna get to it at some point. Gonna get to all the things. But yeah, I think it would be fun. So like on my palette of ideas or goals or whatever we want to call it, um, one is like going to the zoo. One is going to like one of the horse farms around here. I still haven't done this. One of the horse farms around here and draw a horse in person. I think I'll do that to build up to the zoo thing, just because like it'll be good practice. Um, the other one is like drawing in public, not like YouTube, but actually in public. Like I want to go to the pub, or coffee shop for you kids. Jeremy does not go to the bar. They're all coffee shops, yes. Um, but no, I want to go there and draw, like probably not draw a person while there, like that whole live drawing thing. I don't think I'm gonna do that, but just actually just sit down and draw and stuff, and like, people come up and answer their questions and stuff. I feel like that's a good progression into like maybe doing a booth at some like an art fair or something like that. Being able to like talk to people and actually answer their questions in like real time. I feel like this whole live stream thing has been kind of practice for that sort of stuff. But yeah, I want to get to that point where I go to that coffee shop and uh and draw a picture. I think that'd be fun. All right, I like that. That's looking pretty good. I'll probably come back and like add more to it, but I like the color. So we got the purple up here. I might put in like a little bit more purple or like a lavender, I think, down here, just to kind of like so that it's not all blue green. But this is kind of like what I enjoy about the style. So obviously the deer itself is brown, but that doesn't mean that it all has to be brown. Like I can put in other colors. Sorry about the cat. If you can hear the cat, it's just back there whining. All right, so I'm happy with that rack. I I always do this. I always draw the right side first, even though I'm right-handed. I need to really get in the habit of drawing the left side first, so that I'm not reaching across the page of stuff that I've already done. But it's okay because, like, I also have to get in the habit of holding my pencils like this. So, like, we all do it. That is not the proper way to hold your pencil. You should hold your pencil like it's a brush. You know, just because, like, at some point you're going to want to try to paint. Even if like your strong suit, like mine, is drawing, at some point I want to be a painter, like I can see myself like 5, 10 years down the road being exclusively a painter, just because I love, like, whenever I watch other artists work, I'm watching drawers. I'm watching people who draw to an extent, but after a while it's like you definitely move on and you're like, wow, look at what they're doing with paint. um So someday I will probably be mostly a painter, but today is not that day. Today is not that day. I have to work at it. But I'm actually getting better at watercolor. These backgrounds and stuff that I do. So I might actually try to do a watercolor painting start to finish where it's all watercolor at some point. Just because, you see the pictures as they start out. It's just really beautiful, kind of soft, just kind of like color just kind of mixing together. That's watercolor being watercolor. I love that, and I want to do more of that. It's not this style. This style is doing something opaque over it, but I still want to explore that. Whenever I do something that I enjoy doing, I just kind of want to explore it more. So probably, even though I'm doing these as kind of like a series, you'll probably see me, you know, also go off on some side tangent with like watercolor or charcoal or pastels by themselves or something like that. Like that black cat I did the other day, that was an exclusively pastel. I just love doing the colors on these antlers because they almost look like rainbow colors, or like they're almost like translucent or something, like Prisma. The deer looks great. Thanks, Lorraine. I appreciate that. Looks better than I thought it might. I was a little bit nervous there for a while, just because it's such a small area, like it's really hard to get that detail in it. I was concerned. I should draw a tree like this. Like I'm doing these antlers, and I'm like, this is kind of cool, but do a tree. Okay, get some highlights on that one. Got to reach across the page. A little bit nervous about places that I've already laid down pastel and places I haven't. I need to get some like frames and actually frame all these things and take them to a gallery. I think some of these will look nice. They got to be displayed somewhere. The magical forest where the party bear lives. Yes, party bear with party deer. Ah, I can't drink and also hold pencils. Party bear and party deer. I think I don't think there's any art fairs coming up. I think next month there's another gallery hop which I might go to. Um, but I think our fair, I think the first fair that we have is probably Mayfest, which obviously is in May. I'm trying to think. I don't think there's any March ones. The only thing that is in March that I don't think I'm going to this year, but I have in the past. Let me go with green here. It's Comic Con. I don't think I'm going to go this year. I haven't even looked to see what celebrities are going to be there. I went last year. Oh, last year it was kind of tragic because they had Shannon Dotrey there, and I got to see her in person for the first time. And if you follow that story, she had cancer and she passed away. So like that was the last time I think that was her last public appearance. Um, so I'm glad I went. Shannon Dotrey, she was on Beverly Hills 90210 if you're like that old. But she was also on like Charmed back in the day. Um, along with Alyssa Milano and I forget the other lady's name, but they were all there. And well, Alyssa Milano wasn't, but um, a couple of people from the old Charm show was there, so it was kind of cool. But I think that was her last public appearance before she passed away. It's kind of sad. The other highlight was Barbara Eden was there, and she's the I Dream of Jeannie lady. Now she's old, like she's like Betty White almost old. I don't think she's that old. I think she's like in her 80s maybe. But she was there. That was kind of cool. Priscilla Presley was there. That was neat. A couple of other people that you guys might not recognize. A bunch of people I didn't recognize. Like there was a bunch of voice actors and stuff that are like in anime. That's the other thing. It's like I go to these Comic Cons like pretty regularly, like at least every other year, and there's been a shift I have seen over the last couple of years. Um, it has gone from being almost exclusively comics to being almost exclusively like anime. Like it used to be like Star Wars and Marvel stuff. Like there's still that stuff, but it's definitely becoming overclipped by anime. Like that is a big nerd fandom nowadays, which is cool. I'm into that. That's awesome. But also, it's like, well, I also like these other things, so I hope they don't go away. Barbara Eden does look good for. Oh wow, she's like 93. I didn't know that. That's crazy. Um, but yeah, no, she looks very good for her age. I am surprised that she's active, like going to these conventions and stuff like that, which is kind of cool. I guess like after you reach a certain age and stuff, maybe that's like the highlight for you. Like getting out there and being amongst the fans and stuff like that. If so, that's cool. Because I know like William Shatner, William Shatner lives around here, and he makes public appearances nowadays, or now and then. Sorry, not nowadays, now and then, and he doesn't have to like. Well, look at Harrison Ford. Harrison Ford's like just been in a movie. He doesn't have to at his age. I think people do these things to keep busy, um, which makes sense. I mean that's the way I would be at that age too. I think. Or maybe I'll have to just because like I won't have their kind of money. But um, yeah, like I do think that I do think people like Barbara Eden do it just to keep busy. or give back to the fans too, Um, a lot of these celebrities, like some of them some of them are just in it for the paycheck. That's obvious. Like you can kind of suss those out. Like which ones are just in it for the paycheck. But then some of them genuinely appreciate and like that they have fans and that their fans are so engaged with them. And those people are kind of cool. Like you can definitely tell the difference when you go to these things. There are people. Some of these celebrities are just like barely even there. They're not engaging with anybody. They're just there. And then people like Barbara Eden, she was like really, really into the crowds. So that's kind of cool. I love Comic Con. Been to three. Socializing key when you're old. Yeah, I agree with that. I like going to Comic Cons just because like I don't know. I like everything about it, to be honest with you. Like, I am a fan of these things, so it's like kind of cool to see what's going on in the world. Um, I always like comic books, even when I was a kid. But I really got into like the movies and stuff, the Marvel movies. So that kind of rekindled some of my interest in comics from being a kid. But now it's like I go to these things just because like it's just really interesting to see the talent. Like I like going and meeting some of the artists now. Um, I wasn't into that before. Um, but meeting some of the artists is like a lot of fun. The actual celebrities, like the ones that are like in TV and movies and stuff like, they're okay. I mean, that I could take or leave that. The celebrities for me is really the artists. Like to come across an artist that I think is awesome. Somebody that I wish I could be myself. Like there's somebody I look up to. That is like really awesome. That's the kind of fandom that I'm into. And then some of these smaller Comic Cons, like this is like the Lexington Comic Con. It's not the big one. It's not like the San Diego Comic Con or the New York Comic Con or any of that stuff. It's just it's just a little Comic Con here in this like little tiny town. Um, but what's cool about that is you get to see some of the local artists. Like a lot of times, it's just people who like to draw. You don't see as many of those nowadays just because the booths cost so much. Like I would love to be at Comic Con, but there's no way I can afford the booth. I think it's like $900 or something for a weekend. That's crazy. Like there's no way I would be able to sell enough art to justify the cost of having a booth, but I would love to go to one of them. But anyway, you get to meet some of the maybe like like a smaller con. Like I think there's one in Louisville that's smaller, maybe Frankfurt. But um, anyway, I get distracted. You get to meet some of the local artists, which I think is cool. And I always buy their comics. Like usually they're overpriced. They're like $5 or something like that. But I buy them just to support the artists themselves because I think it's kind of cool. Maybe one day I'll create my own. I don't know. Hey, Larry's in the house. Nice. Room Dog says, "I love the costumes at Comic Con." Yeah, cosplay. That's a lot of fun too. I always thought that one of these days I would go dressed as something, but I can't figure it out because I wear glasses, so I haven't really figured out what kind of costume I could wear that, like, my glasses wouldn't get in the way. I've never worn contacts. So like I wouldn't even know how that would work. So I'm I have not done the cosplay thing. Although like I do kind of think about different designs I could do where I could still wear glasses underneath the costume. I just haven't figured it out. Mm. Usually get kind of like I usually get more into it than I am like going into it. So like Comic Con is like next month, right? So I'm out of time. So even if I uh even if I wanted to create like a costume to go as somebody or something, there's no time. And I only think about it whenever Comic Con comes around. So there's basically I don't spend enough time planning ahead. There you go. That's what I'm trying to say. Geppetto, you better check your ID. It's a clone. It's not. It's literally Geppetto himself. No, I guess it has to be a guy then. Or, well, can you have a clone of somebody that's a female? Like, how's that work? Like, they had that Dolly sheep or something like that. That's not like, I guess, I don't know. I'd have to give that some thought. Like, can you clone something and then, have a different gender out of it? I don't know. I really don't know. Like, can you clone a male and produce a female? I don't know. That sounds like some sort of science or something. I don't understand science. I'm an artist. You have arts and sciences. I'm an artist. Yeah, I'm liking that. That's looking pretty cool. All right. So I'm going to leave those antlers alone. How are we doing on time? Oh, okay. We're only like an hour into this. That's cool. So I need to get some more body shape in here. Yeah, baby Japan. But see, it's not even a baby because the baby would be like an offspring. It's more like mini me. So like if you ever watch the Austin Powers movies, um, mini me is basically Doctor Evil. So it's hard to so like a clone is a direct copy, I think. So it's like you can't really think of them as separate, something other. It has to be thought of as the original. So he's basically Geppetto in miniature form. Yeah, like a mini Geppetto, a mini me. There you go. I doubt you can do that, but you never know. I mean, science, they do all kinds of crazy stuff. I don't know how science works. All I know is that science needs to figure out how to make sure that we don't get hit by that meteor or that asteroid. Get science working on that problem. Yeah, I don't know, like it's hard to pay attention to those stories about the meteor or the asteroid that's supposed to be coming because like it's so far off, right? So like you don't even know, is this something you should be worried about? Like how do you even worry about something like that? So the story is that there's a 3% chance that that asteroid is going to hit somewhere on Earth. Now, I think they either know already where it would hit, like most likely, or they will know at some point. But it's like, how do you plan ahead for that? So like, I don't think the asteroid is big enough to like wipe out the entire planet. It's not like the comet or whatever that killed the dinosaurs. Um, but it is probably something that you would want to avoid. you know, in the next 5, 10 years. I don't even know when it's supposed to come, but it's too early to worry about that, I think, right? Famous last words. Like, if we get like within a year of it or something, they have it worked out that it's gonna like, I don't know, wipe out Kentucky, then just move, like just leave Kentucky. I don't have to live here. I like it. It's pretty here, but if an asteroid's gonna wipe it out, I don't really want to live here anymore. I mean, sorry, Kentucky. I like your bourbon. I like your horses, but I don't like your asteroids. So, like, I'm pretty sure that if they work out where it's going to hit, just move. I guess it'd be kind of hard, like, to sell your house. Like, if if your house is determined to be in the asteroid trajectory, it might be a little bit difficult to find a buyer for that. So that might be bad. Hopefully none of you guys are in that position. Just to mention, this is one of those things where it's like you can use whatever colors you want. So like obviously the primary color of a deer is brown, but you can introduce um like I'm doing here some blue in his neck or her neck. That would be a zero breaker. Yeah. It's like, you know, Let's find out where that asteroid's going to hit, just so that I know if I can get full value for my house or not. You know, because like that would definitely affect your prices. That's another thing, if you guys haven't been following. So, like, some of you guys know who Shiloh is. Shiloh apparently took the property off the market. That Santa Fe house. It's no longer for sale for some reason. And that cat won't shut up. I don't know. Can you guys hear that cat? I think this is looking pretty good. Oh, you can't hear the cat. Basically, the cat's at the door, like, let me in. The cat. So the cat used to be like, kind of like on his own, but lately he thinks he's a dog. He wants to hang out with the dogs. He wants to eat what the dogs eat. Um, so like, I like a good ham sandwich. That's my thing. I like a good sandwich, usually ham, but it could be anything. Um, so I make those sometimes, and I feed the dog like a little piece off of it. I give the dog some ham. Um, Dog's happy about it, right? And then along comes the cat. The cat wants the ham too. It's like, I don't think cats are supposed to eat what dogs eat. I know that there are some things that cats can't eat. Like, I didn't know until recently they can't eat garlic, right? So like, you can so sometimes I'm eating a pizza and I might give like the crust or something to the dog because the dog's happy with it. The dog can eat it. It's not a big deal. The cat wants the crust too. The cat can't have the crust though because it's got garlic in it and that's toxic. Um, Garlic to cats, my understanding, is as bad as like chocolate is to dogs. So like, I don't know why the cat wants to be a dog. It doesn't make any sense. But that's the way of it. The cat wants to be a dog. Wants to lay in the room like a dog. Wants to come on YouTube like a dog. Cat thinks it's a dog. The cat gave up and left. I can't hear the cat out there anymore. That's funny. Larry, which one is supposed to be in our southeast? Oh, you guys talking about the treasure inside? There's supposed to be like an Appalachian one. Do you think that that's down where you guys are, or do you think that that's further up the Appalachian Trail? Talking about a treasure hunt that's going on, by the way. I still haven't bought the book yet, but I plan to do that when it gets warmer. I think I will participate in that treasure hunt, but I don't see any point in buying the book in the middle of winter. If somebody finds one of those boxes, so there's like 5 boxes that are hidden and stuff. If somebody finds one while I haven't been participating, so be it. Um, the last treasure hunt and stuff, I know that there's like mixed opinions on it, but I think the guy came in at the last minute and found it. So like, Forrest Finn's treasure hunt, Jack Stoof, he found it like in 2018, or like he joined in 2018 and found it in like 2020. Um, or some even think it's sooner, like 2019 maybe. But anyway, point is, um, I don't think there's any benefit in like being an early adopter. I think sometimes like a more thorough look at it is really what wins. It's not how soon you get into it, That makes sense. That's it. I really don't know. I haven't really cracked that thing. I've got like actually a lot of the book just because people have been sharing it with me. It's kind of funny. I haven't paid for it, but people keep sending me screenshots. I think I have most of the book right by now. Rome, if Jeremy does an alligator, Larry has dibs on it. I need to do an alligator. I think an alligator would look cool in ink just because like the whole cross hatching type deal. Because it can says I don't believe in Jack Stoof. Like the person or that he found it or what? Like do you not believe that there's an actual guy named Jack Stoof, or is it that you just don't believe that he found it or whatever? Because, like, yeah, I mean, people believe all sorts of things. So you almost have to clarify at this point, like, at what point, like, what part do you not believe? Because, like, some people think that, like he's just a persona or something. Some people think Forrest Finn's a persona. They literally think that he's a plant from the CIA and he's not a real person. Like, they think that the whole Forrest Finn is just like a person that the CIA made up, and they assigned it to this guy to play, which is kind of funny because I think they did that storyline in X Files once where they tried to say Saddam Hussein wasn't a real person; he was just a CIA plant. So I think they kind of borrowed that story from that. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, like the theories go. Oh, okay, he's a proxy finder. So you think that he's like a hired, not like a hired actor or whatever, but just somebody who was hired to be the front guy, I guess, for the real party or parties who found that chest. This is the kind of stuff I hope they cover in the documentary. So like, I don't know what to believe. I really don't. I don't think about it that much. Like if somebody were to say this guy found it and stuff, I'm cool with that. I don't really need to like peel back those layers. It's not that important to me. But I do kind of hope that like in a documentary that's telling the story, I hope they tell the full story because there is a lot of people out there who believe these kind of things. And that, earlier in the stream, I mentioned that Netflix has a documentary on the Malaysian flight. So the Malaysian flight that disappeared, the MH370, there's a lot of different opinions about that. Like opinions are all over the place, and I think that documentary did a good job of, you know, kind of like touching upon all the different theories. Maybe not like there's a mainstream theory about what happened to the Malaysian flight, and they kind of covered that as well. But they left it open where they said like maybe one of these other things were true. So well, I think that would be kind of cool for like telling the story of Forrest Fenn because a lot of people do believe that they believe that Jack is not real in some sense. That he was either hired to play the role of a finder or nudged to find it by Forrest Fenn in some way, shape, or form. He's not legitimate, right? I think that kind of stuff should be told. They kind of did that a little bit in William Shatner's Unexplained. So like they did a 5 minute segment on the Forrest Fenn treasure hunt for that, and they did kind of touch upon the idea that maybe Jack was pushed to find it, um, which I don't necessarily believe myself, but maybe. I don't know. How would I know? I don't know. I don't know where that treasure was. You know. So anyway, I do think that they should cover kind of some of the conspiracy theories, I guess, because it's not like the mainstream story is all that solid either. The mainstream story is maybe that Jack found it at 9 Mile Hole. Not a lot of people believe that. 9 Mile Hole, for those who aren't familiar with this treasure hunt, is a fishing hole in Wyoming that people think that Forrest Fenn hid his treasure there. Um, that's the mainstream story, but it's not like there's a lot of official support for that. It's based on independent research and stuff. It's not like Forrest Fenn himself said he hid it there, or it's not like park officials have said it. So it's kind of like it's all kind of conjecture. Even if you really, really believe it, it's still conjecture. You know, it's like there's no official source claiming that. So I think a proper documentary should show all the different aspects to it, and definitely cover that it's a weird thing, right? It's not there's even if you're happy enough with like a place like Nine Mile Hole, you still probably believe some conspiracy happened, or something weird happened about the end, because it was a weird ending. You probably you probably have at least one bizarre idea. I know I do. I think that there's at least some possibility, some non-zero chance that the treasure was moved. I know that they said it wasn't, but I don't know. Maybe. I was a New Mexico searcher, so that's the only hope I've got, is that it was moved. But I don't know. It is kind of fascinating. So like this year, what 2025 would be the 10th year that I got into the Forrest Fenn treasure hunt, because I got into it in 2015. So like that's how old school I am. I go back that far. So for 10 years, I've been wondering about that treasure hunt. So I think it's kind of fascinating. But yeah, it's one of those unsolved mysteries. So like, even if you're not into like treasure hunts or whatever, you might be into like unsolved mysteries like JFK, um, Bigfoot, things like that. That's all it is. It's like, what really happened? Who knows? What can you find out? Who knows? I like a good mystery. I like that kind of stuff. Um, I do enjoy looking at things like the photos and trying to figure out what all you can figure out from the photos. That's the kind of stuff I'm interested in. Because I do think that like somebody could look at those photos and try to figure out where in the world they are. I'm liking this deer. I know it's tough because like all of the detail and stuff is in a little bit of area, but I just like how the colors work together. Um, like I would hang this up on my wall just because I like how everything works together. It's still tough though. It's tough because it's like such a small area. All right, I'm going to use this pencil to try to get some detail up in here. Thanks, because I can. Kinsley says, I love this deer. It looks so good. Thanks, Kinsley. Coopart asks, am I near Glasgow? Do you mean Glasgow, Kentucky, or do you mean Scotland? Because I'm very far away from Glasgow, Scotland. But there is a Glasgow, Kentucky nearby. I don't know how close it is. I don't live in Glasgow. Um, but it is somewhere around here. I do live in central Kentucky, so if you're trying to figure out where I live, it's in the Lexington area. Um, if you're looking at the news, yes, I am aware that there are some places around me that are flooded, to put it mildly. I've seen some of this myself. Like I said, I went out this weekend, out to eastern Kentucky. Oh, your boy grew up there. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, all right. Yeah, I'm so fascinated by how many Kentucky natives or former Kentucky people I run into. Um, I was born in Kentucky myself. I am both a native and non-native of Kentucky, because like most of my extended family are from South Carolina. So I have a claim to being a South Carolinian. But also my dad was in the military, so he moved around a lot, and it just so happened he was stationed at Fort Knox when I was born, right? So I have the credit of being born in Kentucky, even though I have spent most of my life in Kentucky just because like I don't know, like I moved here for a job and so on. Um, but other than that, it's just the fact that I was happened to have been born in Kentucky. I don't otherwise lay claim to it. Um, but no, it's kind of fascinating. Like I run into people all the time who either are from Kentucky or know somebody from Kentucky. Um, it's just kind of neat to me. Yeah, Glasgow. I've not been there. I think it's nearby. I might have been there just driving through. I think it's a little bit south of here. Sorry, trying to get some highlights on these eyes. I don't know if that's going to work. All right, that one eye I kind of like blacked out, but that's okay. I'll put some black back in. You'll get some more snow tonight. Yeah, so that's the thing. So like I said, I went out to Eastern Kentucky over the weekend, and they are super flooded out there. It's kind of sad, and it's just this entire year has been nothing but snow. It's like snow and rain, and we're supposed to get more. It's just more wet than it ever. Now, probably that's good for like farms or whatever. I don't know. I just know that it's just been nonstop. Like it's such weird weather. We don't usually get this kind of stuff, you know. Um, I don't know how climate change is supposed to work. I don't know if it's just supposed to be hotter or whatever, but it's certainly been weird weather. It's been inconsistent. It's been like one year warm, next year cold. It's all over the place. So I don't know what to do. I used to think that I had a pretty good idea of how Kentucky weather worked, but I do not. I have no idea. I love how like it's funny to me that people probably tune into this show sometimes to learn, right? Like you guys tune in to hear what I have to say about things, and like I bet you if you go back and you roll tape, I spend more time saying I don't know, I have no idea, I don't know how that works. How does that work? That doesn't make any sense to me. I probably say those things way more than I ever say this is how you know do something. I just find that so fascinating. It just occurred to me that spend a lot of time saying I don't know anything, and that's about art. It's about science. It's about how the world works. I don't know anything at all about anything. I like this deer. I think this deer is pretty. I don't know how it happened. It just happened. It just appeared on the page somehow. Like I feel like there's probably like somebody smarter than me that has the right words could probably explain to you how this deer ended up here, but I can't explain it. It just happened. What's that clip that's going around on the shorts all over the place? It's like, I don't know how I did it, I just did it and it was hard. That's how I feel about art. I don't know. Just the deer appears here somehow. I don't know how it works. I do like this deer. I think they look pretty good. Adonis Place says, "Yo, this is fire. Thanks, man. I appreciate that." I'm assuming you're a man from Adonis, but I'm not sure. This is fire. Actually, you shouldn't say fire around a deer because, like, the whole Bambi thing is still too soon. We can't say fire around a deer. This deer is magical. Thank you. I appreciate that. Moose has been laying down by me for most of the stream. I love him. Aw, that's awesome. Yeah, our pets are great. That's why I love doing pets. Like doing wildlife like this and stuff. I mean, I need to do more of it just to like get in the habit of doing it, but I really do like doing the pets. The pets are where it's at for me. How are we doing on time? Yeah, we're an hour and 30 minutes into this. I think I'm gonna wrap this up soon. There might be some like little things that I do here and there, but I don't think it's going to change all that much. Um, I do like I said, the actual drawing area, like the face and stuff, is such a small area. I feel like I got enough of the antlers in to where I'm pretty happy with those. I wouldn't want to change those anyway. Maybe I can add like a little bit more detail to them, but the actual drawing area is pretty small. So I probably could have knocked this out a little bit sooner if I wasn't chatting with you guys, but that's part of the deal. I like doing that. Maybe a little bit more detail in this nose here. This is the part where I go back and I kind of look over things. And I look for like low hanging fruit of like little details I can put in. Just random splotches of color for no reason. I say no reason, but there is actually a reason. So sometimes I like to put in. So like this is a light blue. It doesn't really belong in the face. It's not in the reference. Obviously, most of these colors aren't in the reference because it is a deer. It's brown, like there's no blues or greens in it. Um, but I like to put some of these colors in just because they are in the background, for example. And I like to incorporate them. So like we have some oranges here. There's no real oranges up here in the face, so I'll just randomly put in some orange just to kind of like draw that in so that it's kind of a cohesive I was going to say a cohesive mess, which is probably actually kind of true. It's a cohesive mess at that point. I think that does help the picture kind of come together when you take various colors that are strewn throughout and just kind of like make sure that they land in different areas and kind of reinforce each other. So there's some blues, there's some greens, there's some purples, there's some oranges. They all kind of like make up the face. So that kind of helps tie it all together. So like I said, I might tinker with this a little bit more off camera, but I doubt it. I think that this is, I think I'm pretty happy with this as is. If anything, it would just be like tinkering just to kind of make things work a little bit better as a small picture. But we're like smooth out some areas. I think up here. Fix it. I always love how I say, yeah, I'm done, and then I go off and tinker with it some more. Anyway, I think this guy's pretty much done. So start sketching Rome with Larry's epic beard. Rome with a beard. That's nice. For those who don't know, Rome is a dog. So a dog with a beard. That's kind of cool. Let's see. What is the deer's favorite bread? Deer? A deer bread? Bread dough? Bread doughy? That's a great one. All right, I'm gonna let you guys finish that question before I hop off. But I am kind of curious. What is a deer's favorite bread? It's definitely got to do sourdough. There you go. I knew it had something to do with dough. That's awesome. All right. Well, I think I'm going to call this done. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me on a Tuesday. I will be back on Thursday for more fun and shenanigans. Yeah. So you guys let me know how you guys think this series is going. So like, again, the series is where I'm doing watercolor as a background and doing pastel over it. What wouldn't count is my ink drawing where I did the elephant in ink over watercolor. That is not the same style. Kind of like it's all sort of the same thing, but it's definitely a little bit different. So I am kind of curious what you guys think about this particular style where I'm doing pastel over watercolor. If you guys like it, love it, hate it, want to see more of it, want me to stop, you let me know in the comments. If you have any recommendations, if you have any kind of like ideas for something that might look cool in this style, any and all the above would be awesome to get as comments. So you guys let me know. In the meantime, I think I will call this done. All right, gotta stop tinkering. Hands down. All right. again, I appreciate you guys hanging out with me on a Tuesday night. I will put this up on the community tab probably in the morning. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. I enjoyed it a lot. I love seeing you guys in the chat room. Again, we talked about this throughout the stream, but once you see somebody enough times, you start thinking of them as family or friends, at least close friends. I love seeing you guys. If you guys weren't in here, I probably wouldn't be doing this. So I appreciate it. Bear appreciates it. Bear's like, can we do more? Yes. All right. Look at the fur coming off. That's funny. All right. Anyway, I will see you guys on Thursday. Probably another drawing like this. I don't know, unless you guys can think of something else. But you guys let me know. All right. See ya. Bye. Thanks. Thanks, everyone.